up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It is free to subscribe. Also share and like the video and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right, so listen, I'm coming to you with this story, you guys, from this fitness influencer. Her name is Natalie Barnett. She has come under fire for the trans exclusionary stance of her new women's only gym. So this lady has created or is developing a women's only gym, and she is excluding trans women from the gym, and she's got a lot of backlash from this. The gym is called The Girl Spot and it's located in Wandsworth in Southwest London. The gym is to be open in spring of this year. Now, for context, they're saying that Barnett spent 4 years fundraising. So she did a fundraiser to create the space, generating over $22,900 via a GoFundMe, right? In a tweet from 2021, the influencer shared a trans inclusive message and implied that her forthcoming gym would welcome trans women, writing, "Respectfully, if you have a problem with trans women attending my gym, then you can find another gym to train at. I have discussed this several times before. Trans women are women and also a minority that need to be protected. Please keep your transphobia away." So in 2021, she wanted to create, this space. She included trans women initially, but somewhere along the line, she decided that she didn't want it to be trans inclusive and it was only for biological women. She goes on and she shared this post that was posted on X that's now since been deleted, that the gym would only be for biological women. She says the Girl Spot operates as a female only gym for biological women, tackling harassment, sexual assault, and violence that women face inside the gym. The tweet circling was made 4 years ago, and I was in the very early stages of creating a concept, she wrote. So 4 years ago, she was in the early stages of creating a concept, and it was trans inclusive. The post has attracted significant backlash online, both from trans women sharing their disappointment at being excluded and allies speaking up for the need for trans inclusion. Barnett has since shared a video stating that the decision was not made lightly, but that the gym would be operating as a single-sex space and would not be trans inclusive. The article goes on to say, "It's sad to see gym commitment to inclusivity fall into the trap of excluding trans women, and no doubt extremely painful for trans women to see their validity as women called into question. It's important to remember that trans women are in need of safe spaces with other women. They're not a threat to the safety of women's only spaces." And it goes on, the article goes on from there. But I want to go ahead and play what she actually said, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. I want to know what y'all thoughts are about her initially including trans women, but then deciding that she wanted to only be for biological women. Here's what she had to say. Here it is.
2021, 4 years ago, I made a tweet, and the tweet referenced my women's only gym, the Girl Spot, and being trans inclusive. Now, when I made that tweet in 2021, I had just announced my plans to open a women's only gym. I hadn't thought out the vision or the mission or what it would entail, but all I knew is that I wanted to open a gym. We are now 4 years later, and I've had a great deal of time to figure that out. The Girl Spot gym exists as a safe space for women because women are facing gym harassment, sexual assault, and sexual violence inside of gyms, and I know that because I'm a victim of it. So the meaning of the Girl Spot gym is now entirely different, and I say this to say that whilst we are a gym, inside we are focusing on self-defense classes, Muay Thai, boxing classes, as well as workshops and activations around PCOS and training on your menstrual cycle, all of which occur to biological women. Majority of the women who are seeking my women's only gym, the Girl Spot, are coming here because they have faced some level of gym intimidation or sexual violence and assault that has been perpetrated by men. So as the owner of the gym, it is very important to make it clear how my women's only gym will be operating, and it will be operating as a single sex space for biological women. Now, we do believe that everybody deserves a safe space, And there are many gyms that are starting to have mixed cubicles and changing rooms so that individuals can feel safer and more included in these environments. But the Girl Spot gym as a standalone is a female-only gym because it is imperative that I stick to the vision and the mission and ensure that these women feel safe and address everything that is.
Now, before we get to her addressing the backlash, I hear what she's saying, and I've saw some of the backlash. You know, a lot of trans women are upset about it because, of course, they want to be included in biological women's spaces. They want to be included and seen as just women. Now, I'm not sure why she, decided to, she changed her mind. Initially 4 years ago, she was in a different space and she was like, hey, trans women are included. But then she decided to change her mind and only allow it for biological women. I don't see anything wrong with her changing her mind. But I think, the money that she raised, and if the money was collected from trans women, I think because they, supported the idea and the idea of being included, and if I'm not mistaken, I think she is refunding a lot of the donations back, which I think in that case, maybe she should, because they were under the impression that they would be included in this venture. And now that she's changed her mind and decided that she doesn't want to include them, then I guess the right thing would be is to refund them their money back. And I think that's what she's doing. If I'm not mistaken, there was another post of her saying that the monies will be refunded, and she's still going to proceed with opening her only women's gym. This whole situation with trans women and biological women is becoming a little bit confusing, and I just think we have to understand that biological women go through a whole different set of issues than trans women, because trans women, if we're gonna be honest, it's men transitioning into being a woman, but biologically they're men. And I don't have any problem with trans women, trans men, anybody who choose to live their life the way they want to live it. I respect people who choose to do what they want to do. I have no issue with anybody and how they're trying to live their lives. Let's make that clear. I respect all people's choices because it's your choice to make, and you can live your life the way you want to live it. But when it starts to impose on the rights of women, and then it starts to try to be changed into something else other than what it is, and when biological women are being have to be in a position to defend who they are, that's when it becomes a problem. And that has nothing to do with her choosing to have this gym. But I do think there are a set of things that born women go through that trans women will never experience. Being a woman is more than hair, makeup, and what you feel. It's a biological makeup of what we are made of and what we go through that a man will never experience. And that's just what it is. And so when I hear, just on a personal note, trans women saying trans women and biological women are the same, it's just not true. And it's almost an insult towards us, or, a disrespect to us, because it's almost diminishing the stuff that women actually go through that men will never experience. So I just wanted to put that out there, but let's continue.
Circulating on the internet right now, and it's very heavy. It is a lot, and I think a lot has also somewhat been misconstrued. And for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, essentially I posted a video and I said that my women's only gym, the Girl Spot, will be operating as a single sex space. So it'll be female only. So at this current time, it won't be trans inclusive. And I want to preface and say that this decision was not made lightly. It took me 4 years to make this decision, and I spent a great deal of time speaking to trans women. I spoke to charities, I spoke to Muslim women, I spoke to so many different communities about this topic. And what really saddens me is that so many people are saying that I'm transphobic. I thoroughly researched. I seeked legal advice. I spoke to communities. I spoke to trans women themselves, which I found very important to do so, to see how to navigate all of this, because I am not trans. So obviously the decision to make it was not based on excluding any individuals. It wasn't based on malice, nothing of the sort. The decision was based on the simple fact that I have been sexually assaulted inside of a gym. That is why I stand here as a women's only gym owner. I was sexually assaulted inside of a gym, which means a lot of trauma and a lot of emotion and well-being is behind this project. This is not just a gym. Like, so many of the women that are coming to my women's only gym is because they have also been sexually assaulted or sexually harassed or faced gym intimidation inside mixed gyms and faced that by men. So it's very important to know that this was not an easy decision. I didn't just wake up. I didn't just say, oh, no trans women allowed. Like, I've really thought this through. And like when I made that tweet in 2021 about being trans inclusive, I had just started this project. I was 21 years old, or 20 years old actually at the time. And what the girl spot meant then is not what the girl spot means now. And that is why I said in my video that I'm labeling it as a single sex space and it'll be female only, because I want to do so many classes around self-defense so that women can defend themselves against men, so that like boxing and Muay Thai is so incredibly important at the girl spot. And I want to do classes on like PCOS and like hormone imbalances and training on our menstrual cycle. So it is very much female orientated, you know? And I so strongly believe that everybody deserves a safe space. Like, if you are a true, authentic follower of mine, you know that I am not transphobic. You know how much I stand for safe spaces for everyone. It's so incredibly important to me, and that's why this really has gotten to me, because this is not how I ever anticipated this to go. Of course, I know that people would be hurt and feel a way about it, but like, I care so much about safe spaces, and I believe trans women deserve and need their own safe spaces, you know?
Yeah, and I think so too. I think that there should be spaces specifically for trans women. I think maybe that's something that maybe they can come up with, and they can create for themselves a space that is safe for them. But I think when it comes to biological women, if you're talking about PCOS and things that are related to biological women, I think if you want to do something like that, then I think those are things that most women relate to. Unfortunately, trans women cannot relate to that because they're not biological women. Once again, those are things that they have never experienced and will never experience, because that's what women deal with. And so I think it's important when we talk about, you know, safe spaces. If you're going to create a safe space for women, you got to understand what women go through, and it has to relate to women who go through that, not trans women, because they don't experience that and they never have. Basically what she's saying, she's not transphobic, she's not against trans women, she's just wanting to create a space that deals with the things that women go through. You know what I'm saying? And so I totally get where she's coming from. If that's what she's trying to do, I don't see a problem with it. I think there should be a separate space for trans women. Trans women should have their area where they can all gather and they can relate on the things that they're doing, because what they're experiencing, we don't experience. Being a woman is not just titties and ass, I'm just saying, and makeup and hair. Being a woman is way more than that. It's way more stuff that we got to deal with, and we all can relate to that, you know. And unfortunately, men don't really understand or relate to what women go through because they're men. And then what about the trans men? Because I don't really ever hear much on trans men. I don't hear trans men talking about anything. Listen, I want y'all to chime in the comments. Do y'all think she was wrong for initially including trans women, but then decided that she wanted to exclude them? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.